Christ.
Please be seated. All right, you're going to tell me, you're going to raise your hand when you can't hear me, right? All right. So on Monday, before the big winter storm, and when most of us still had power, there was a training by Central Texas Interfaith. And it was a civic academy, and the academy was to talk about the legislative session, the Central Texas Interfaith's agenda of issues, what we were going to look for in the legislature, what we think we could accomplish and we'd like to do. That's what the civic academy was around. And I had been to other conversations like this with the Health and Human Health and Justice for the Episcopal Health Foundation. And I've done these. And one of the things that really strikes me, the theme of these conversations are, let's talk about what we're not going to accomplish this session. And let's talk about what we may be able to gain in some important issues, because the big things just aren't going to happen. And let me tell you, I was appalled that the theme is, we cannot expect at all to expand Medicaid once again at this legislative session. It's just not going to happen. And it's said with such facts. We're going to try this and a little bit here and a little bit there, but not the whole thing. Yes, you smile because you agree. No, you agree that it won't happen, that it's very likely that it will not happen, that it's not going to likely to happen is what I'm saying, right? You don't have high expectation that it'll happen, right? You're not alone. The experts all say that it's not going to happen. In Texas, there's 5.4 million uninsured adults. And so why isn't it going to happen? Oh, maybe it's just too expensive? Maybe that's it, we can't afford it? No, that's not the reason. Because the federal government pays 90% of the cost of Medicaid. They passed a law several years ago that if a state expands Medicaid, they will pay 90% of the cost. Texas would receive somewhere between $3 and $5 billion to pay for the cost of Medicaid expansion. So no, it's not cost. Why? Why won't we do this? Why are we one of the few states that has not done this? And once again, they don't think it's going to happen this year. So Isaiah this morning, right, is telling Israel, you've got to fix your ways. You've got to turn around. Here you are asking for restoration and wondering why you don't feel heard. And you think you're doing all the right things. You're fasting, you're acting humbly, all these things. Why? Well, the Israelites are the people in Israel saying, why are we not being heard? And so here's what God says. Why do you fast but you do not see? Why do you not notice? You do not notice what is going on around you and how you're impacting people negatively. What I'm asking you to do is to loose the bonds of justice, the bonds of injustice, to undo the thongs of the yoke, to let the oppressed go free. You're fasting, but at the same time, you're oppressing your workers. You don't look to see who's in need. You see the hungry, but you don't see them because you don't feed them. You don't even want to see the naked because you don't want to clothe them. You don't want to house them. And so here's Isaiah, God through Isaiah saying to the people, look, You are called to be my people, and you need to behave in a particular way. These commandments are written for you to follow them. This covenant that we have, you, my people, me, your God, all of that relationship requires a particular way of living. I will hear you. I am with you. And I'm asking you to do the right thing. Texas. We are doing the right thing. 42% of the people in Texas go to services regularly. And 95% of them call themselves Christians. So they go to churches. They hear the word. They go and celebrate and sing and pray and sing hymns. Doing the right thing, right? This country. The top 10 most religious people, the two most, regularly attended people, Mississippi and Alabama. Over 50% of them go to churches and synagogues and temples. They're doing the right thing, right? Really interesting. Those states that have the highest attendance, the top 10, 6 of those are also the 6 states that have not expanded Medicaid in their states. You put them up side by side. The top 10 who go to services, 6 of those match. They have not expanded Medicaid either. But we're doing the right thing, right? They're doing the right thing. They're going to services. They're praying, right? No. Now, is Isaiah saying to people, don't go to church? Am I saying don't come to church? No. Let's be really clear. All of you people on YouTube and whatever, no. Come. Watch services. Come to services. Be part of a faith community. But then let's act like one. Let's act like people of faith. Let's act as people who have a relationship with God and are listening to God's words and commandments and then living them out in our community. Because it's not just about individual people, it's the people, the body, the you all. You all are called. We all are called to live in this particular way. Yes, individually we should share a sandwich. Yes, we should give money to the poor. Yes, all of those individually we should do. But as a people, we need to fight for a just society. We need to work towards changing those systems, that yoke that God says, take it off my people. That yoke is often referred to the imperial powers, to the systemic problems, those religious systemic problems, issues that are imposed on people that oppress them. That is what we are called to take off and to break and remove so that we can have, as the call it said, take us away from those sins and give us that abundant life. That greed, that fear that keeps us from acting as God's people. Because this is the thing. Jesus, when he's talking about the salt and the light, he does this right after. It's the next line, right after the Beatitudes. It's right after he tells all these people, as a good friend said, the misfits of the world, there are before him the broken, the people who need healing and repairing. He says to them, you, all of you, are blessed. All of you, you are the chosen people of God. And then he follows up. And therefore, be the light of the world. Be the salt of the earth. You are blessed so that you can be a blessing. You receive this love and mercy so that you can share the love and be merciful to others. There is Isaiah, so upset with the people because he sees before him the suffering. And he knows that it doesn't take a whole lot because, the salt, for those of you who are cooks and bakers, how much salt do you add to a lot of flour? A pinch, a smidgen, right? That is the ingredient that does so much in just tiny bits. We don't need a lot, friends. We just not to do that little bit. Because if we act as the people of God, the blessed people of God, with that saltiness, con esas ganas, right? We got that, and we bring it out. Where there is darkness, we should bring the light. Where there's no flavor, we should be the salt. And just teeny tiny. Try to make a room dark. Just try it. Any day, go into your house, the darkest day, just try it. It doesn't happen. That light just comes right through. I had to go, I don't know how many hundreds of feet into the earth one time to finally sort of get darkness. Because the light is so much more powerful than darkness. And that's all of us. So brothers and sisters, let us think about this week. How is it that we together as a body can be that light, can be that salt together, so that one day we don't think about, not going to happen this legislative session. Nope, we're not going to be able to do healthcare. Nope, we're not going to do education. Nope, it's just not going to happen. But no, this legislative session, this city council budget, this school district budget, yes, in these days, there will be the kingdom of heaven today. Amen. I invite you